In the mysterious world of the Nethersphere, plans have been drawn up. Missy is about to come face to face with a doctor, and an impossible choice is looming. That is not an end, promises the sinister organization known only as 3W. But, as the Doctor and Clara discover, you might wish it was. Welcome, friends and companions. How are you today in this weekend? All sort of fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place on the channel for Doctor Who, the best sci-fi and fantasy series ever. Random Entertainment Channel, because we discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and music. Random, because we broadcast on non-fixed times, actually on many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random, also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends who wants to join me in live stream or panel. If you want to join me in live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord or YouTube and we'll look what is possible. The Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel, tag Doctor Who. And you can also contact me via a comment under one of the videos of this channel. So cheers, mate, and have lots of fun today and during this live stream and during this video. Your host, Enigmatic Joker, that's me. So today we do a 12th Doctor story, a Peter Capaldi, called Dark Water. We do some general info about this story. It actually is a two-part story, but I will do part one of this two-part story. So you have to subscribe to this channel to know what second part of this story will continue, will start. I'll say this is let's start. This is called Dark Water. Dark Water was the 11th and penultimate episode of Series 8 of Doctor Who. Dark Water showed an important aspect of the Time Lord's regeneration process that had been mentioned before, but never seen on screen. That is, that the possibility for change of gender to occur. Missy, a mysterious figure throughout the series, was revealed to be a female incarnation of the Master, showing for the first time in the history of the series a Time Lord who had been portrayed by male actors, now being portrayed by a female actor. It also saw the return of the Cybermen and the 12th Doctor's first encounter with them and the Master. The events of the episode centered around the sudden death of Danny Pink after a fatal accident, his transition into an existence beyond his body, and the effect his bodily demise had on Clara. The story also explored the concept of an engineered afterlife and revealed the identity of the victim unintentionally killed by Danny when he was still a soldier. Dark Water and its follow-up episode Dead in Heaven are shown in American cinemas in 3D as two-night event on the 15th and 16th September of 2015 as a run-up to prepare for Series 9. The screening also featured a prequel scene to the 9th series. So, again, this story actually has two episodes. We do now the first episode of this story called Dark Water. And another time we will do the follow-up episode that didn't happen. But you must subscribe to this channel to know when I will do that. Okay. We will not dive into the plot, and I highly recommend you to watch this story, this episode first, before you actually will further listen to this plot. So, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Take some water, and then we will go. So you have the time to decide whether or you not will continue to listen or you watch the episode. Okay, let's start. Clara is ready to confess to Danny the adventures she's been having with the doctor, despite telling him she wasn't. She's left post-it notes around to keep track. The moment she asks Danny if he would be able to forgive her for keeping a secret, the phone goes silent. A woman picks up on Danny's phone, explaining that a car came out of nowhere and ran over Danny. Clara is left numb by his passing, trying to call the doctor. As she watches her phone ringing on her kitchen counter, Clara is visited by her gran. When consulted over Danny's death, a rather passive Clara says it is not his death that's bothering her. It's that it was so ordinary and boring. The doctor finally picks up on his end, asking Clara what's going on. Later, hello, Eastland Burkholder. How are you today? So later, the doctor picks up Clara, asking her where she wants to go, almost immediately sensing something is wrong. She asks the doctor to take her to a volcano, all while collecting up the TARDIS keys that are hidden in a console room. She asks for a sleep patch, since she's having trouble sleeping. He turns her down without looking, allowing Clara to place the patch on his neck and knock him out. The doctor seemingly waits on a volcanic planet, and Clara tells him what's happened and that she is holding the seven TARDIS keys hostage. Yes, it's also nice weather here. And yes, the nice weather is always good. And most of the people are free today, I think. Not work, not school. So this time for a good live stream. So that's the reason why I do this live stream. It's nice weather. It's always good to have a good live stream, and especially about Doctor Who. So Clara then reveals that she knows lava can destroy them, and if the Doctor doesn't let her try to save Danny, she'll throw them all into the crater in order to prevent the Doctor from ever re-entering the TARDIS, proving that she's serious about by throwing one straight away. Doctor Point Blank refuses to save Danny since his death is part of her personal timeline. Chasing that event will lead to a paradox. Yes, paradoxes in the Doctor Who. And he tries to take control of the situation by goading her to throw another key in the lava. Clara then throws all but one in, and when the Doctor still won't help, she throws the last in before suddenly being overcome by the enormity of what she's done. The Doctor then reveals that she didn't actually knock him to sleep, and the two are still in the council room, with this being a telepathic test to see how far she'd be willing to go be with Danny again. When Clara asks about the state of their friendship, the Doctor says, quote, "Go to hell," end quote. Oh. Seeing this as a justified ending of their relationship, a guilt-ridden Clara starts to leave, but the Doctor clarifies that he actually meant going to the afterlife. Almost every culture in the universe has a concept, and maybe Danny is there. Seeing the extremity of her desire to see him, despite his fury at her betrayal of him, the Doctor agrees to do everything he can and connects her to the TARDIS telepathic circuits, as her time streams connected to Danny's. The TARDIS takes them to wherever she thinks Danny now is. Clara is overwhelmed by the Doctor's generosity of forgiveness. So, Danny wakes up in another sphere and is greeted by Sep, who informs him of his death. Now, Guitarist has taken the Doctor and Clara to the 3W Institute, where they see skeletons seated in watery graves. They are greeted by Missy. Stating that he clearly didn't receive the official greetings package, she kisses the Doctor and claims to be a mobile intelligence systems interface. Missy lets the Doctor feel her heart, evoking a reaction of quiet surprise from the Doctor. In an sphere, Seth asks Danny if he's ever killed someone due to a request from someone Danny could have killed in the army. Remembering his bad day, the child Danny accidentally killed is revealed to him. Chang reveals the dark water to the Doctor and Clara. When submerged, only organic matter can be seen. The skeletons are inside something else, hidden by the water. Danny meets with the child, who runs away when Danny tries reaching out to him. He and Sep hear a man screaming, which Sep explains to mean he left his body to science. Cheng then explains to the Doctor and Clara that the GW was established after discovery from this television static, that their founder, Dr. Scarosa, translated to be distant voices. Believing them to be the voices of the dead, Scarosa is isolated some of them. Cheng plays a recording of the voice that inspired 3W's founding. Quote, "Don't cremate me," end quote. Cheng tells them the dead are still conscious and aware of everything that happens to their body. Dr. Max starts an idea. Seb is explaining the same to Danny, who constantly feels cold because he's still connected to his body, but is being kept in a cold place. The Doctor states that death don't come back, and Chang establishes a communication signal to the nanosphere, and Clara is able to speak to Danny. With Seb's assistance, the Doctor tells Clara to ask Danny questions only to which would he know the answer. Missy activates the tanks, and the skeletons stand. When Chang and the Doctor arrive, Missy reveals she was only pretending to be an android and kills Chang. As the tanks begin to empty, the Cybermen are slowly revealed. Whoa, 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 whoa. Clara asks Danny to name the restaurant that they went to on their first date, but he can't remember. Missy shows the Doctor Nethersphere, which is a matrix data slice housing minds of the deceased in edited forms, while their bodies are used for cyber conversion. The Doctor knows Nethersphere is actually a small sphere within the 3W, which is containing the neural patterns, is actually Gallifreyan technology. And Missy reveals that she's indeed a Time Lord, or rather, a Time Lady, as she prefers to be called. The Doctor asks her which Time Lady she is. She is the one he, quote, left for dead, end quote, without expecting her to find her way back. The Doctor runs out of the 3W, which is St. Paul's Cathedral. Clara asks Danny more information about her and tells him that if he is Danny, she's determined to find him in the netherworld and threatens to hang up if he says, "I love you," one more time instead of answering her questions. Then he tells Clara she must continue her life, not follow him. He repeats the same words for the last time, and she disconnects the communication signal. Seth gives Danny the option to delete her himself, which would relieve him from the search of emotional trauma from his call with Clara. Back in 3W, Clara turns around to see a fully revealed Cyberman in the water tank. Cybermen activate and begin marching down the steps of St. Paul's Cathedral. Doctor yells at civilians to run away, but he is dismissed as an angry Scotsman. The Doctor demands that Missy tell him who she truly is, and Missy reveals that her name is a short for quote, mistress, end quote, as she couldn't keep calling herself by her previous title, the Master. The Doctor initially reacts with disbelief that quickly turns to horror when he realizes she's telling the truth and his old nemesis has returned. So, in another sphere, Danny is on the verge of disconnecting himself as sees the child he killed reflected on the screen of the iPad he holds. Then, my friends, to be continued. Dead in Heaven. That's for another live stream. So, I will name some cast members. The 12th Doctor is played by Peter Capaldi. Clara is played by Jenna Coleman. Danny is played by Samuel Anderson. And Missy is played by Miss Yale Gomez. The woman is played by Joan Blackham. And the Gran is played by Sheila Reid. Seb is played by Chris Edison. And Dr. Chung is played by Andrew Leung. Fleming is played by Bradley Ford. And the boy is played by Antonio Burafel. And Simon is played by Jeremy Craig, and Miss Armitage is played by Nigel Betts. So it's some of the cast members. Some world building. The TARDIS keys can only be destroyed by lava. It's an interesting fact. And the closure bell rings whenever one is destroyed. The second thing is that St. Paul's Cathedral was made bigger on the inside by Missy, who used it to store 91 Cybermen. Whoa, 91 Cybermen. Yeah, that's right, Iselin Burkhardt. Missy being master was a good moment. The reveal was well done. In fact, Missy Gomez did Missy very well. Was a good actress. Still is, of course, still a good actress. Yeah, a very nice reveal. World building about the individuals. There are 7 things in that, into the relation to that, is that the Dr. Clara view Excello Jones' skeleton. Second thing is that to convince Clara that he is the real Danny Pink, when she receives his call from the Nethersphere, he tells her her birthday is on the 23rd of November. Third thing is that one asked about having iPads in the afterlife, but Danny Seb responds by saying that they have Apple founder Steve Jobs. The third thing is that Clara has a copy of the Encyclopedia of World Facts. Fifth thing is that the air on the G string by Johann Sebastian Bach, that is a classical componist, that was heard on Missy's introduction when the Doctor and Clara were greeted by her. So, sixth thing is that one of the TARDIS keys is hidden in a copy of the Time Traveler's Wife. And that is a favorite of Stephen Moffat's. And seventh thing in relation to individuals is that Missy says, quote, bring out your dead, end quote. That is a line from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's Monty Python. Very famous. So that's about world building. Some story notes. Okay. The Cyberman walking from St. Paul's Cathedral and through London streets emulates a similar scene in the same location in the TV story The Invasion. That's of the second Doctor, Patrick Troughton. Second thing is that this episode marks the first on-screen instant of a Time Lord changing gender through the regeneration. Although the possibility had been alluded in the End of Time, that's what the 10th Doctor David Tennant, and also in the possibilities also alluded in the Doctor's Wife, and that's in the 11th Doctor story with Matt Smith. And the Night of the Doctor. Another thing is that The Radio Times program listing was accompanied by a small collar head and shoulders photograph of Missy and the Doctor, with the accompanying caption, quote, Doctor Who, 8:50 p.m. Missy and the Time Lord come face to face at last. What will the outcome be? Another thing is that the Hyper Escape body swap ticket used to get Clara and 11 Doctor into the Doctor Who at the proms is shown on Clara's bookshelf among her sticky notes. Discounting the sticky note references to the Paternoster gang, whom Clara had also encountered in Series 7 and one reading Impossible Girl, which was a plot element in TV story Deep Breath with 12th Doctor Peter Capaldi. The ticket is the only item exclusive to the 11th Doctor era visible on Clara's notes, though the camera does not focus in on all the stickies. Another thing is that when the Doctor hands Dr. Chang the psychic paper, it says he is from the government, and Chang questions the amount of swearing on the paper. Doctor responds with, quote, I've got a lot of internalized anger, end quotes. So Peter Capaldi is well known for his role as the fall-mounted Malcolm Tucker in The Thick of It and its spin-off film In the Loop. Another thing is that the shape of the logo for GW used throughout the episode in Dead in Heaven is implied to represent the Nidisphere. There are circle with a small circle offset to the lower left. It actually also echoes the shape of the Cyberman's eyes in this current iteration. It's most obvious when the Doctor leaves the office with Dr. Chang just after telling Clara, I feel like I'm missing something obvious. And he exits sliding double doors with windows shaped like the 3W logo set in opposite orientations. So when the doors come together, the window appear like the iPods with cyber helmets. Yeah. Hiding Claire's Cyberman way slowly showing only the skeleton. This was clever. Indeed. It was a real surprise when I saw it for the first time. Already said, this episode marks the first use of the term Time Lady in the revived series. Another thing is that at a Royal Television Society event, Stephen Moffat revealed a decoy version of Mrs. revealing the episode was shot in case any members of the public overheard. Quote, you know who I am. I'm Missy. Or if you prefer random access neural interrogator, Rani for short. For the version actually used in the Finnish program, Peter Capaldi and Michel Gomez wrote their dialogue, which would be added in dubbing. Yeah, I really liked Missy because the actress played this very well. It was really a contribution to the series to series 8. Yeah, I agree. I loved Missy also. So even with Series 8 running for one episode shorter than normal, this episode still manages to continue the trend the Cybermen appearing in the penultimate episode of every series since Stephen Moffat assumed the role of head writer and executive producer. So the Pandora opens in Series 5, Closing Time in Series 6, and Nightmare in Silver in Series 7, all of them featuring the Cybermen, but were also the 12th episodes of the 13 in the respective series. And in fact, I did Nightmare in Silver last time in the live stream. So I highly recommend you to listen to that live stream, the video Nightmare in Silver of Series 7. Um, from among books in which Doctor has hidden TARDIS keys, Clara picks up a copy of The Time Traveler's Wife, which influenced the character of River Song and the plot of The Girl in the Fireplace. And The Girl in the Fireplace is a story with David Tennant. En dat is met Madame de Pompadour. Another thing is that the plot point of the dead being conscious was controversial enough for the BBC to release a statement defending it after receiving complaints from viewers. Another thing is that this is the second TV story to feature both the Cybermen and the Master following the 5 Doctors. Five Doctors is an Doctor Who, in fact, a classic Doctor Who special with Peter Davison. Um, Another thing is that the story dismemberment would reveal that Danny was run over by Missy on purpose. I think that though Bradley Fortis credits Fleming in the closing credits of the episode, he does not actually appear. It's presumed that he was in a scene that was cut very late in the editing process. Another thing is that the story was edited together with Dead in Heaven for theatrical release. For this release, the story was presented in 3D, three dimension, and as a single feature length story. There were also several small changes made to the sound design of the episode, most notably the omission of the opening titles for Dead in Heaven and the inclusion of additional sound effects in opening titles. Another thing is that Rachel Talalay became the first American to direct for the series, although her mother was from England. She had become a fan of the program while spending time in the United Kingdom during her teenage years. So that's also an positive thing. Maybe you will be the next director or head writer for Doctor Who. You only have to watch Doctor Who, and maybe you will be the director for this program. Another thing is that this two-parter formed Block 6 of Season 8, and the Volcano set was repurposed from Wizards and Aliens. It's also a sort of animation. According to Michelle Gomez, one take of the sequence where Missy kisses the Doctor originally showed her also holding Clara's hand. Another thing is that last story note is that the Michelle Gomez first scene as she filmed was when she sucks on the Doctor's nose. Um, Evelyn Burkholder says, unsettling that others can steal souls. Star Trek Voyager had this premise used in an episode. Also, Evelyn Burkholder says, sound design was good. Yeah, sound design, good. Okay, now talk about the continuity. Because all the stories and episodes of Doctor Who are to some extent linked to each other, reference to each other, have a relation with each other, and so we can actually can explain some things in the universe, and it's also good to analyze this, and that's why the reason I spend time on this subject almost every live stream, because continuity is an important thing in the universe, and although there's not such thing as canon in Doctor Who, it's more like choose your own canon, and that's in fact. Though, although there is something like continuity, there's also a thing like a link to each other, reference to each other. Past episodes explain future episodes, and vice versa, are some way linked. So, and it's all. Before I dive into continuity, it's also the important fact that that things are an interpretation, and I have noticed by myself that I will watch stories and episodes regular base. I learn new things. I see new things and I interpret new things. I things differently. So it's a little bit of dynamics in fact. when I watch Doctor Who. You see things in new lights when you see some episodes, and then when you see other episodes, and you actually link the episodes to each other, and you differentiate. You see some new things, new context, and that's why it's so important for me to talk about continuity, and that can change in time. Yeah, but that's the reason. That's the strength of this show. That's why I like Doctor Who so much, because I actually every time I watch an episode, it's like I watch it for the first time. Because I look on I look for other things in an episode, so I see other things. That's why Doctor Who is not boring for me. And I can watch an episode 10 times, and every time I enjoy it, and I see other things, and I see good things. I see things differently, and in fact, sometimes when I have some difficulty in life or during a day, if I watch a certain episode of Doctor Who, it actually encourages me, and also some things. I had some difficulties in the past, and sometimes I have difficulties. And when I watch a certain episode of Doctor Who, it encourages me. It gives me a new light, and I knew new things. As there are also some philosophies of the Doctor that help me in everyday life. So that's the reason, on a personal note, why I love Doctor Who so much. And every Doctor, every incarnation of Doctor has some strengths, some positives. No, yeah, with all of our favorite doctors or companions' favorite era or stories or episodes. Um, yeah, but every doctor has its positives, and it's no secret. My favorite classic doctor in the classic era is John Pertwee, and in the uh, in the new Who is Peter Capaldi. But more like if there's something that this is of your favorite taste or flavor. So that's very important. Okay, this is okay. Before I dive into continuity, I will read some things what Islin Burkholder says. Interesting concept that the Doctor and the Master knew each other as boys, and the Doctor even refused to kill the Master in an earlier time. And the Master mistreated human life, kills him, but he, I don't know. But the Master will come back. And Eastern Burkle says also Moffat leaves breadcrumbs and links things up. I like that. Yeah. So we will dive now to oh another thing that Eastern Burkle says is that I watched the Pandora scene when feeling down. No plan, no, and I have nothing to lose or less to lose than the opponent should be terrifying to the opponent. Some also examples. I heard more and more fans about the fact that they were in a trouble in their life, had some trouble in their life, and they watched Doctor Who, and it cursed them. Maybe it's a good to do a good idea in a sort of live stream to actually talk about this about the encouraging thing about Doctor Who, that it really can help in your everyday problem and the problems of everyday life. I have a testimony about that. So where there's some things in from some certain different incarnations of the Doctor, they say things on the right time when I needed it. Very funny, a miracle. In fact, it was. I watched an episode and I was in and was a little problems, and the right time there was an episode and the Doctor said something in that episode, and it really helped me in fact. So it's not only enjoyment and entertainment, but also it's a little bit of psychological help for me, Doctor Who. So that's the reason why I love this. So the Doctor Who so very much, and my love and my for Doctor Who is still growing. I'm still enthusiastic and more. I'm so very glad that there is more Doctor Who on television. In fact, um, more than 60 years of Doctor Who and so many episodes to enjoy. We all have our own favorite stories and episodes, favorite doctors, favorite companions, favorite things. And that makes this series so strong, and that's why I'm so enthusiastic. And I want, I hope that that's yeah, it will be for more no more than 60 years the Doctor Who to come. Because yes, I like this show very much. Isla Merkel says humans need stories because stories tell the truth in a fiction. So, so this is okay. Okay, this is the reason why I do this live stream so very. I like this to live streaming and talk about Doctor Who because it's so. I words words can and I cannot enough use much. How do you say it? um, um, words are not enough to say what Wu means for me. It's an emotion. It's a thing. It's a feeling. It's butterflies in my butterflies. Yeah, I'm in love with this show, and the love is keeps growing, and there's so much to enjoy. Classic Who, new Who, all things. You can pick it. You can take it. Choose your favorites and your love will grow. Um, so, your favorite Doctor Who? What's your favorites? That will feed your love. That will increase your passion for the show. Oh, okay. I understand. Yeah, you do not have all the read the comments on live stream. That's good. I will remember that. Good friend. Okay, I will start with the continuity. By the way, I like to interact, or of course, but don't have to read all the comments. I agree, but I like to interact and I like to react because yeah. But we will see. We're all in balance. Yes. Okay. Continuity. So in Clara's flat, there are numerous post-it notes with reference to Clara's travels with the Doctor, including the Paternoster game. That is also that is in a link to the TV story The Crimson Horror. That's with the 11 Doctor Matt Smith. And the quote, Impossible Girl, end quote, is the name of the Doctor. And also Danister in London, Half Face Man in Deep Breath, Miniature Clara in Into the Dalek, and Robin Hood TV Robert of Sherwood, the Bank of Carabraxus, Cybra, and in TV episode, stories Time Heist. Courtney Woods becoming the president in Kill the Moon. Yeah, actually, I watched that story yesterday, Kill the Moon. Yeah, and Orient Express, that's the mummy on the Orient Express. And in addition, in fact, the mummy in Orient Express is episode after the story after the Kill the Moon. In addition, there are many post-it notes about Clara telling the truth to Danny. That's also in the Forest of the Nights. So there's our links to these episodes. The 12th Doctor. Um, Among the post-it notes in the shelf, there is a quote body swap ticket. The 11th Doctor and Clara previously wished one of these to infiltrate the Royal Albert Hall in the Doctor Who at the proms. Proms. Another thing is that the doctor takes a call from Clara using the TARDIS exterior phone. We see it in the TV episode Bells of St. John and the Time of the Doctor. Another thing is that the emergence of the Cybermen from their tombs bears similarities to their awakenings on Telos. You see it in the TV story Tomb of the Tomb of the Cybermen, as with the second Doctor Patrick Troughton. So, and descending the steps of St. Paul's mirrors their earlier invasion of Earth. You see that in the TV story, The Invasion, also with Patrick Troughton. In fact, Patrick Troughton's stories in combination with the Cybermen are very lovely. A female incarnation of the Master was previously mentioned to be among his various incarnations who were captured by the Silt. We see also linked to Pro's Harvest of Time. Another thing is that the Doctor previously knew of at least one other Time Lord who changed gender. The Corsair. We see it in the Doctor's wife. And Doctor momentarily thought himself a female upon regeneration due to his long hair. See that in the TV story, The End of Time. He was offered an artificially induced female regeneration at the end of his 8th incarnation. We see that in the TV short mini episode, The Night of the Doctor. Another thing is that the Doctor uses the TARDIS telepathic interface to help them find Danny. See that in the TV story Listen. Another thing is that the Master previously had an assistant named Chang Li, whom he also killed, although in that case Li was resurrected. We see that in the TV movie Doctor Who, 1996, with, the 8th Doctor. Also, the Dark Water shows the human skeletons inside the Cybermen. The Cybermen guarding the Pandora Cave under Stonehenge revealed a human skull inside its head when it attacked Amy Pond. See that in the TV story The Pandora Opens. Another thing is that Cybermen have converted and housed the deceased before. See it in the audio story The Reaping and a TV episode The Pandora Opens, and also Prose in Plague of the Cybermen. Another thing is that there's a black and white photo on Clara's bookshelf of her and her father. You see that in the TV story The Rings of Akatan. Another thing is that the Nidosphere is, quote, matrix data slice, end quote, related to the Time Lord consciousness storage and virtual reality technology. There's a link to TV story The Deadly Assassin. And Deadly Assassin is a 4th Doctor story in season 14. Another thing is that the Master previously worked briefly with the Cybermen before, albeit not only because he was forced to at that time. He soon tracked that group of Cybermen into their demise. Also in the TV special The 5 Doctors with Peter Davison. And the last thing is that in an alternate timeline created by a continuity bump, the Doctor never forgave Clara for her attempted betrayal, became a recluse, eventually becoming the leader of the Void. We see that in comic, 4 Doctors. So, and that, my friends, is all I wanted to say, have to say. So, okay, well, I thank you, Excellent Recorder, for your comments. Because it made it very, interesting. Nice. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream, and I hope I enjoyed this video. and I hope to see you next time. But before I leave, I will leave it with commercials. All sorts of fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place for Doctor Who on this channel. Random, because we'll discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books, and music. Random, because we'll broadcast on fixed times, actually on many different times. Need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random, also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends who wants to join me in the live stream or panel. If you want to join me in the live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord or YouTube, and we will look what is possible. Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel Tech Doctor Who. He will find me very quick because I bump the server regularly. So cheers, mate. Have lots of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker. Okay, rest me to say, have a nice weekend all, and I see and hope to see you next time and hear from you next time. So fair now. Bye bye.